Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make a turmeric and vitamin C rejuvenative facial cream. At the beginning of 2024, I set a goal for myself to try to use up as much of the material that I already have in my supply cabinet. I know that that's a goal for a lot of you as well. So if you've been following me for a while or you're new here, I think that you're really going to appreciate the accessibility of all of the ingredients in this formula. In this video today, I'm going to take you through my full visual process and step-by-step tutorial of how to put together this beautiful rejuvenative cream. And if you would like the full written recipe plus a full written detailed step-by-step tutorial, please head on over to my Patreon campaign. This will be available over there at the $5 level. Also in this video, I'm going to be talking about ingredients, why I'm using what I'm using, what they're good for, and also possible substitutions and different iterations of this formula. If you like what you see here and you haven't had a chance to check out my campaign yet, I really hope that you'll give it a try. I'll put the link to my campaign in the description box below for you. There is so much to take advantage of over there. Just at the $5 level, you can unlock hundreds of formulas and tutorials. We've been doing this since June of 2019 and I post weekly recipes and tutorials over there. It's a great community. It's a great place to connect with me and other makers. Also, upon sign up, we're still giving out exclusive Patreon coupon codes to some of my favorite suppliers like Makesy.com and OnlineLabels.com, making your sign up really well worth it. I hope you'll come over and check out what thousands of other makers have really come to like about my campaign. All right, let's get started. All right, so this formula is broken down into 3 parts. We have a heated water phase, a heated oil phase, and a cool down phase. It's a pretty straightforward emulsified formula. The first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and weigh off something called xanthan gum clear. Now, this is different than the xanthan gum you can buy at the grocery store. This is going to give your product a little bit of thickness and a gel-like consistency, and it gives your finished product a little bit of cushion and stability. It's different than xanthan gum that you buy at the grocery store. That will give you a little bit of thickness and cushion and gel-like property to your product, but it doesn't feel as good on the skin. It has more of a kind of a slimy consistency, where the xanthan gum clear has just a beautiful velvety consistency. You can use xanthan gum clear or xanthan gum soft. I got this one at Formulator Sample Shop, and I'm using this just to give this formula, again, a nice glide and consistency, but also to help stabilize the emulsion a little bit. So we're just going to go ahead and we're placing it in this little beaker here. And what I'm going to do with the xanthan gum is I'm going to place it to the bottom of this water phase beaker here. The next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and weigh off the glycerin needed for this formula. The reason I'm putting the glycerin on top of the xanthan gum is because we need to disperse the xanthan gum before we add any watery type ingredients. If we just go ahead and start adding the water into this, it will not hydrate properly, it'll clump up and be nearly impossible to mix out. So it's important to disperse it in something like glycerin first. Now, glycerin is also going to give us a little bit of a humectant property here, meaning it's going to help to draw moisture to the skin. That does help with fine lines and wrinkles and helps you to look more kind of well rested when your skin looks hydrated. So we're going to go ahead and add in our glycerin. Now, you could always substitute this with sodium lactate if you want. Sodium lactate would be also a wonderful humectant, a little less viscous than glycerin. Either one works great. Now I'm just going to take my spoon here and I'm going to disperse the xanthan gum right into the glycerin until I have just like a homogeneous looking solution with no clumps. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and hydrate my xanthan gum. So that means we're gonna get it covered with the watery ingredients, and it's also gonna create a little bit of a gel in here. We're using this at a fairly low rate. Of course, if you want more of a gel, you can use more xanthan gum. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and next weigh off the water phase, or the water needed for this phase. Now, it's important to use distilled water. So we're just using a bit of distilled water. And then next, for the watery ingredients, I'm going to be using some blood orange hydrosol. You could use any hydrosol of your choice. The final product is going to be a bright yellow, so I thought an orange hydrosol would be a nice pick. Plus, the blood orange hydrosol smells really good and fresh and bright, and just it gives it a little bit of a faint kind of fresh smell without too much fragrance. A lot of fragrance in your facial products can really be a turnoff, and you don't need it, especially if it's something real close up to your nose, like a facial cream. It's just not nice all the time. Hydrosols are a great way to add a little bit of fragrance, but you have to be careful with your hydrosols. They don't all smell good. Some of them can be quite bitter. So I got this blood orange one from Mountain Rose Herbs, and I find it to be very bright smelling. Now, if you didn't want to use any hydrosols also have similar properties to essential oils because they come from the production of essential oils, but they're way less potent. You can use them up to 100% usage rate on your skin, and they do provide some nice properties. The blood orange one in particular is going to give us a little bit of that beautiful vitamin C, which does help to turn over and rejuvenate your skin cells. So that's another good reason to use the blood orange one here. So what I'm doing is I'm just hydrating that xanthan gum, mixing it in and making sure it just completely turns gel-like before adding or before moving on. All right, I just went ahead and set aside my water phase, and now it's time to weigh off the heated oil phase. So we're going to start off by weighing off some Cream Maker blend. This is going to be my emulsifier. You guys know how much I love this one. The Cream Maker blend is a mixture of glyceryl stearate and PEG 100 stearate. It just gives facial creams such a nice skin feel. So it's going to give that nice kind of silky skin feel. It absorbs nicely without kind of leaving that white streaking on your skin, and it's just got a very nice luxurious feel to it. Plus it's a pretty good emulsifier, like by itself. It doesn't need a co-emulsifier or anything like that. It's also super versatile. You can use this emulsifier to make thin, more like milky type emulsions or thicker ones, and it's pretty stable. I got this one from Making Cosmetics. It's the Cream Maker Blend brand of glyceryl stearate and PEG 100 stearate. Next, we're going to be adding in some Squalane Oil. Now, Squalane Oil is very well known for its anti-aging properties. It's got rejuvenative and healing properties to it, so it is going to help also with that kind of cell turnover that we're looking for. This is great for mature skin. It's very lightweight. It absorbs into the skin quickly, so we're going to go ahead and use this. You could also replace this with jojoba oil. If you didn't want to use Squalane. Squalane is a bit more of an expensive oil, and does have similar properties to jojoba. So, don't be afraid to substitute this out if you didn't have Squalane or didn't want to use it. Okay. And then the next oil we're going to be adding in is some Argan Oil. Argan Oil is beautifully emollient. It has a really silky skin feel. It's great for your skin and your hair. It's great for skin and hair strengthening. And it's also great for some of those anti-aging properties you might be looking for. If you don't want to use argan or you don't have argan, you could simply just use another light carrier oil like apricot seed oil. I've used apricot seed oil before in this formula and it works great. Combined with the squalane, you could use sweet almond oil. Those would be great substitutions. Last thing for the heated oil phase is some cetyl alcohol. Now we're adding the cetyl alcohol in for its ability to help thicken up products. It's a great thickener, but it also is great for facial care products because it's got an amazing lightweight skin feel to it. Helps your moisturizers to absorb quickly without that white streaking, and just has an overall luxurious feeling. So we're going to go ahead and weigh off. We're just using a little bit. A little bit goes a long way in a formula like this. And I'm not going for something super thick. I'm just going for something kind of middle of the road. Not too thick and not too thin. Eventually we're going to be placing this into an airless pump. So you want to make sure it's something that can come out of your airless pump. So we're just going to dump that right in. And then what we're going to do is go ahead and take our heated water phase, our heated oil phase ingredients. We're going to warm them up until everything is melted. That's going to be right around probably 150 degrees or so. And then we'll bring it back to combine both our oil and water phases. All right, now that both water phase and oil phase are warmed and melted through, it's time to go ahead and combine them. They're sitting at right around 150 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to go ahead and place my water phase directly into my oil phase. And then I'm going to go ahead and use my immersion blender to blend this up for a few minutes. Right away you can see it start to emulsify, looking good already. All right, we're going to go ahead, this is emulsified now. We did it, go ahead and pulse it and blend it for about 1.5 to 2 minutes. We're going to go ahead and set it aside and allow it to continue to cool down while we then weigh off our cool down phase ingredients. All right, the first ingredient in the cool down phase that we're going to be weighing off is cyclomethicone. Cyclomethicone is a silicone. It is a volatile silicone that has a bigger molecule. So it does a couple things. Rather than sinking into your skin like I know some silicones can do, and that's kind of what makes people leery of silicones, cyclomethicone actually sits on top of the skin and fills in and temporarily blurs fine lines and wrinkles to make them look less noticeable. It just kind of fills in the little fine lines and wrinkles. It also gives your products a really nice glide and slip, which is really important to a facial care product. You don't really want any dragginess on your facial cream products, on your delicate facial skin. You just want it to glide nicely over the skin, and cyclomethicone does that perfectly. As far as substitutes go, you could add polyquaternium 7 instead if you didn't want to use cyclomethicone. That would also give you a really nice luxurious kind of silky glide and skin feel as well. Next up, we're going to be adding in some turmeric extract. We're almost to the bottom of this container and I've been trying to use it up. Turmeric is a powerful antioxidant, so it's helpful with skin healing and rejuvenating. It also helps with dark spots, any type of skin tone unevenness that you're trying to get rid of. This is a great one for the complexion. And so we're just going to go ahead, we're just using a little bit. A little bit goes a long way with turmeric extract. More is not more in this case. Less is more. This is why I've had this container for a long time. You just really don't need a lot. It's very potent. powerful antioxidant. Next, we're going to be adding in the vitamin C. By the way, I got this turmeric extract from Voyager Soap and Candle. It's a water-soluble one. And then we're going to be adding in some vitamin C. This is the 3-glyceryl ascorbate vitamin C from Making Cosmetics, and it's considered a novel vitamin C because it's not supposed to oxidize like some vitamin C's can, which is great. Now, vitamin C, in this case, is the star of the show. And the reason why we're using vitamin C in this formula is for its skin rejuvenating properties. So this will give you a little bit of a chemical exfoliation, a gentle chemical exfoliation to your skin, which will help you turn over those dead skin cells, revealing the nice, youthful skin underneath. This particular brand you can use anywhere from 1 or 0.5% up to 10%. And for people who have mature skin or are entering that phase where you're starting to notice some changes in your skin due to age, vitamin C is a must-have because it really does work great for aging skin. The next thing we're going to do is add in our preservative. Now, the choice of preservative might surprise you here. We're using some liquid germall plus, which usually I would opt for Optifin in a cream or lotion, but this does have a bit of a higher kind of watery phase. But also, liquid germall plus can work in pHs as low as 3, and this is going to be a little bit lower on the pH. At the final pH of this product sits right around a 4.3, anywhere between a 4.3 and a 4.6 I have found, depending on what exactly you're using. So I needed a broad spectrum preservative that was going to be able to also work with a lower pH and not break down. There we go. All right, so our heated phase is sitting right at around 100 degrees, which is the perfect time to go ahead and combine our cool down phase ingredients. So we're going to go ahead and combine our cool down phase ingredients, and then we're going to use the immersion blender to really make sure everything is well blended. Now you're going to see this cream turn into a beautiful kind of bright and happy yellow color. All right, then I'm just going to use my stick blender and make sure everything is fully incorporated. All right, so in a formula like this, I like to wait until it reaches pretty close to room temperature before packaging up because I just want to make sure my emulsion is stable. So I'll bring you back when this has thickened up to its final consistency and we'll go ahead and package it up. All right, so the formula has reached room temperature, and I just wanted to give you an idea of the consistency before we pop it into this syringe. We're going to be using the syringe to fill up our little Airless pumps. So this is just a gorgeous consistency for a facial cream. Like I said, it's not too thick, but it's not too thin. It's just perfect. It's got a nice kind of bouncy cushion from that xanthan gum. And so now we're just going to go ahead and place this into our syringe. I got this syringe from TKB. However, you can get them lots of places. I've even gotten them on Amazon before. So as you can see, it pours really easily. And then I've gotten these cute little Airless pump containers. You guys have seen me use these before with other facial creams, including my copal resin cream. You can also find that formula over on my Patreon campaign. They've got these cute little pump lids. So we're just going to go ahead and add in the plunger. You have to take the bottom You have to take this piece off before putting the plunger in, or else it just won't go in properly. So I'm just going to go ahead and place the tip of this already into the bottom of one of my, that way when I start to put the plunger in, when it starts to spill out, it'll already be in there. And there you go. We're starting to fill these up. These are little 1 ounce Airless pump containers. There we go. It's just the cleanest way to do it. The little little openings are so small on these, so it is easier to put it in a plunger. All right, there they are. It fills up about 3 3/4 of a container here. So this one will be for me to show you a little use demo on. And they just have a nice, faint, kind of bright, fresh smell. I like to take that part off and really make sure that's secure on these. These little containers are also in my Amazon store. The link to my store is also in the description box. Using the link does help me out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and give you a little bit of a use demo on these. I just love the bright yellow color. It's so just happy and beautiful looking and natural. So we're just going to go ahead and give you a little bit of a use demo here. So what I like most about this cream is the consistency and the way it absorbs into your skin nicely. It makes a great base for makeup. Of course, you're always going to want to put on your sunscreen last. So do your skincare, put this cream on your face, and then layer up with sunscreen, especially when using things like vitamin C. So we're just going to go ahead and, remember this one wasn't all the way full, so just trying to draw up some product there into the pump. There we go. See how it just pipes up beautifully? It's just a beautiful consistency. See that? It just glides on, not too thick, not too thin, and it just absorbs super readily into the skin. It feels so silky, and a little bit goes a long way with this formula. Now, if you do change out the oils, if you use the sweet almond oil or apricot kernel oil, it will give it slightly different skin feel. Still lovely, just not exactly the same. And there you have it, everyone. That's how you make a beautiful vitamin C and turmeric infused facial cream. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please leave me some comments and questions below. That really means a lot to me. Share this video with a friend, and why not consider subscribing to my channel? All right, everybody, catch you on the next video. Bye. Keep shining.